Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hi, I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. And today, and you see me fluffy with my fro because I'm wearing it down and it's just kind of doing its own thing. Because I really don't cut my hair, I just kind of pack my fro in because you know how long my hair is. I mean, let's take a look. Here it goes, and here we are. So it's pretty long, and I like to wear it look where it looks shorter. Of course, I like my headband, and this is my big one. And so today I'm just wearing my fro, and I keep it simple. I wear my fro, or I wear my fro up, or wear my fro in down. So pretty simple because my life is like that. It's just so busy, so I have to keep the things that personal stuff simple, concise. Okay. All right, let's get to your questions today. Let's see. First one says, "Hi, Dr. Akbari." She says, "Love your hair and earrings and makeup. Your hair seems to grow another 2 or 3 inches every week. My hair is doing better." Good. I'm glad to hear that your hair is doing better. And thank you for the compliments. I keep it simple with the earrings. As you know, mostly I wear these every week, but I have some others I try to have fun with, especially during the holidays. And I got some holiday earrings I'm going to wear. But I pretty much keep it simple. My makeup, I wear minerals. And that's pretty much what I do. And so I just really try to keep it simple. I just clean my face, moisturize it. But thank you so much. She said that her hair is doing better, and now she's mentioning that she's having some problems with hair clumping, and breaking off again after shampooing. I have to put conditioner on my hair prior to shampooing to avoid this happening. I use a clarifying shampoo and follow it with a moisturizing shampoo. I haven't been conditioning. Deep conditioning. Also, what do you think about heating caps versus hairdryer? Okay, loaded questions here. No problem. I love it. All right, let's talk. First, thank you for all the compliments. Thank you so much. Second, let's think about what you just said here. Now, you're having problems with your hair clumping together when you shampoo. You have to be careful with your shampoo regimen. Go on my website at lisaakbari.com and go under the natural hair page, and then I have a YouTube, a video. Well, actually, you can go on YouTube and find it, but I have a video on my website, and it shows you how to shampoo. But the main thing to remember is to keep your fingers underneath your hair, press it into the scalp, massaging, slide your fingers straight down, and then smooth on top of the hair. Smooth it on top of the hair so that you do not, you know what, I may just have to, what if I wear my hair down? That shows you how long that is. But anyways, push it back up in the front. Smooth it on top of the hair so that you do not tangle your hair. Remember my rule. If you do not create a tangle, you don't have to remove a tangle. Roll the tape back a little bit. How are you dressing your hair for bed? When you go to bed at night, you cannot lay on the fro. That's right, ladies and gentlemen out there. You cannot lay on your kinky fro. If you do that, then you're going to press the hair together. It's going to web and mat. Again, on my website, I have the twist and tuck. It's the quickest, easy way if you are in a hurry. But you have to cover the ends, you have to hydrate the ends, and you have to make sure you don't leave it in the fro, because when you toss and turn at night, well, if you sleep in one spot, you're still going to tangle. And that causes, by the time you have shampoo day, then you end up with a tangle problem. So as soon as water hits it, the webbing goes together and it creates a mat. See, it's all webbed. So it's not really super tangled, but it's webbed. But then when the water hits it, it draws in together. And that's when you have the matting. So if you just be a little more proactive so that you don't have to remove a tangle. Now, with that being said, looks like you've torn the cuticle if you're having a lot of the matting and clumping as well. So you want to deep condition. Deep conditioning is important. Now, do I deep condition all the time? No, I don't have to. I am busy and I do a lot of quick fix 60-second conditioning. But I condition all the time, and deep conditioning is major. If you're trying to obtain length, like if I want to get length much more than I have now, and if, like at the rate I'm getting length, and there's a difference between growing, and obtaining length. The difference is with obtaining length, you have to really, really protect and preserve that cuticle. If you're not careful, then you're going to have a problem with obtaining length because the cuticle is going to live and tear. You're going to expose the cortex and you're going to have elasticity problems, and then your hair is going to break. So you're not going to obtain length, even if you're growing from the scalp. So you have to deep condition if you want to get really long hair, unless you're going to cover it up with braids and have those protective styles. And even with that, your hair will obtain length, but it won't be strong with length. So you're going to find yourself always going back to the braids. Long story short, you have to deep condition in order to correct some of these cuticle problems, and also in order to keep your hair from being so tangly, because that helps as well. Okay? Dryers versus heating caps. Heating caps are fine, long as you don't. Two things you got to remember: you don't want to sweat under the heating cap because that'll dump waste and salt on your scalp. So when it dries out, and also it makes the scalp kind of itchy because it puts that waste and salt from your sweat. Your body's just trying to regulate its temperature. Heating caps overheated will make you sweat. The other thing is you have to remember, if you have fine hair, a heating cap could burn your scalp a lot easier. You can overheat this in a heating cap and be too hot. And you really only need about 60 degrees medium setting on a regular dryer in order to have, deep optimum penetration of your conditioner. So with that, you can use a heating cap, no problem, no worries. But you don't necessarily need one, and that's the difference. The dryer gives a more indirect heat. The heating cap gives a more direct heat. Probably the heating cap, heating up the hair for a certain length of time with that amount of heat is not necessarily going to benefit, because the benefit of a dryer or any dryer is to allow the conditioner to have the optimum penetration after 60 degrees, but it's a conditioner. It's not going to be, it can do some repair work if your cortex is exposed, but it's not going to be like a chemical that can go into the cortex, open up the cuticle. It can only open the cuticle, go into the cortex if the cuticle is already open and the cortex is exposed. So it'll do repair work, but you'll get the same under a regular dryer. Also, something I want to say with the heating cap, you don't necessarily, thinking that it's going to make the whole process better. It's the amount of time that the conditioner stays on your hair that gives you more of the repair work, not how hot the conditioner is. Okay? All right, next question. I'm thinking about purchasing a heating cap. That's the same question. Okay. Hello, Dr. Akbari. Love your hair. Thank you very much. I got two questions. How can keratin and ceramides benefit the hair, and how often should I use them? Also, what products have the ceramides? I always pronounce that a little. I have a weird pronunciation for me, but it's ceramides. Okay, I hear wheat germ oil, avocado oil, and grapeseed oil carries them, and carries them all. And she wants to know like the benefits. Well, really, ceramides are really lipids. They're found in the cuticle layer. And what happens, like that essential fat. So what happens with them, your hair pretty much, it helps the hair to keep the cuticle in place, which is very, very important, because the cuticle layer is your style layer. So when you have your hair is healthy, you will automatically have those. Now, there are a lot of products that will make them. They'll put them in their products. And you got to be careful, because a lot of them, sometimes they have the synthetic, and that's going to be a little bit harder to rinse clean. Basically, what the benefit of having this in the product is that it's going to help seal the cuticle. It's going to help to balance. But I think that the oils really should be left in the hair afterwards, because it's more of an oily substance. I'm kind of all over the place with it, but I just want to say this. I think you can have some benefit with them, but I would say with the natural ones, like you mentioned the wheat germ, there's some, and then there's some others. Let's see, let's see. Some of the ones I would recommend. Um, hemp seed. But see, the problem is with this oil, and let me just tell you why I struggle. And I did a little bit more research because I wanted to find some that I don't use it as much because you can get, I again believe in that benefit of putting it on and putting them in your conditioner, but also putting the oils on afterwards. With that being said, some of these oils are a little bit dense. So then it's very hard to rinse clean. So when you start adding these oils to the hair, you may get this buildup. So especially women with relaxed hair, sometimes it slows down that process when you're trying to do the relaxer if you have a dense amount of oils on your hair. So you feel like you need to go shampoo and then have your hair relax. And there's complications with that, or it could be problematic. So let's not get over on relaxers, but as it relates to these oils, I think it's okay to use them. But I do think that it's important for you to remember, do the little tests, only the oils that they're light on the hands. And I'm just trying to struggle. I mean, weight germ oil is, but see, that may be a good one. Um, uh, you know how I feel about a lot of those oils. I, and so, but there are a lot of companies who have products that contain the ceramides. So there's a product companies out there, so you can do your research. I think L'Oreal was probably one of the biggest companies that did. But again, let's be careful here. We want to make sure that within our conditioners, we want protein and moisture. We want to strengthen and hydrate. Keep things in order. You want to clarify, strengthen and hydrate, and you want to use your oils as a leave-in. Now, let's talk about the keratin. Keratin is essential. Hair is mostly composed of keratin, protein. A lot of people say they're protein sensitive. Protein, the reason why you're protein sensitive, unless you're breaking out in a rash and have swelling around the ears, you're not allergic to protein. The hair cannot be allergic to protein. Now, can you use too much protein on the hair? Absolutely. And the sensitive part is your hair will dry out. And the drier your hair is naturally, the more you'll feel you're sensitive to protein. But it's just that you're drier because it's a dry substance. So you have to balance it with the humectants. That's why you want to use conditioners that are deep penetrating, protein and moisture. Why deep penetrating? Because the molecular weight, the molecules that make up the conditioners are smaller. So they're going to penetrate deeper into the actual cuticle. And that's going to help you with those protein issues. Okay? So I think that this is good that you're wanting to do this, but I don't think you should worry about it as much. I think you get into the proteins and moisture conditioners, and I think you'll be good. But I don't have any problems with you using the keratin or the ceramides. Okay, let's see. He says, I like your new camera. I don't have a new camera. I'm just speaking up. It makes the sound quality really nice. This is really the same camera. I'm just speaking up. I was doing all this. Okay, and I was too low. Okay, I'm having a little more energy with my speaking. Okay, now, so I don't have, but anyways, he says, the sound is really nice. Thanks for addressing some of my previous questions. However, I am still trying to get a better insight on cutting ends versus treating them. Can you please shed some light on the use of silicones for treating the ends? Thanks. That's what she said. Exclamation point. Thank you too. Okay, now let's talk about this. And again, I appreciate you coming back and saying, let's do a do-over with that question, with that answer, because I didn't get it. All right, let's talk about your ends. When your hair grows from the scalp, it actually obtains length. Let's pull a section from our ends. So when we have, and let's see if I can, you see that? Oops, almost out of the camera. When we have our ends, at some point, with all the shampooing, all the wear, it's called wear and tear on the ends. It's just like fabric. Hair is like a thread-like substance. When you are not careful, you're going to end up wearing and tearing at those ends, and they're going to become split. They just do that, and we call it naturally split. Well, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you either treat that or you trim it. If you do not treat it and do not trim it, the ends will not only wear on the end, on the very end, it will peel back into the healthier hair. And when it does that, you're going to have a problem with obtaining length, and you're going to have hair that's not manageable, and it's going to be dry because your cortex will begin to become exposed, and it's going to be weak. So treating is crucial, or trimming. If you trim them, then you're cutting those off so it doesn't have an opportunity to wear and split into the healthier hair or the younger hair. But most people trim and then they're not obtaining length because either there's too much trimmed, and I believe if you're growing an inch and you just want to keep your ends trimmed, you're going to trim maybe 1/4 of an inch. Well, some people trim more than that. So if you want to trim, you can trim. But if you do not want to trim, which I do not trim a lot, I don't like trimming, I treat. So how do I do that? I treat my hair every night by using my leave-in conditioner, hair vitamins, and basically I'm repairing my ends. I'm putting on the ends, smoothing them down, and I'm twisting. Sometimes I will do that with my moisturizer. If you have extremely dry hair, you need to use your moisturizer. I use my moisture in the morning, especially during the times when the season is colder or drier, because there's less humidity in the air and it seems to suck up your moisture from your body. You notice your hands get, your feet, everything gets drier. Okay, so if you're not going to trim, you must treat. Also with your conditioning, you have to deep condition and treat your ends. So treating the ends will keep you from having to trim your ends. But if you do not treat, you must trim. So you can have daily treating with moisturizer or nightly treating with a leave-in conditioner, I like hair vitamin, or nightly treating with moisturizer. You can also use just a little bit of oil on the ends to seal in the moisture and to seal the ends, but just a small amount, always very little. And deep conditioning, you always want to use your protein for strength and moisture for hydration to make sure that you keep the hair strong and healthy. And work your conditioners on your ends, smoothing them into the ends, to make sure that you're not missing them. Because sometimes we'll put our conditioner on like this and we're missing our ends. So make sure specifically work with your ends. Silicones. You know how I feel about them. You got to make sure that you only use products that rinse clean from the hair. You don't want anything that can hold pathogens or buildup in the hair. So I don't recommend them. I think they're great for styling, but I think the negative part outweighs that. So there are other options. You just don't have to have them. All right, next question. Hello, Dr. Akbari. Me and Mrs. Mrs. Matthews. So good to hear from you. I must say, I was so pleased to meet you. And Miss Pearl and myself had a ball. I love you. You guys are wonderful. And I felt so good. I felt like my family was coming to see me, actually. I really did. And you're my cyber family, and I was so happy to see you. And I was happy that I was able to do the analysis and that you're going to do well. Both of you are going to do very, very well. We had a lot to talk about on the train on the way back home on the train. That was great. We were treated like queens at your institute. Thank you for that feedback. I can't wait to tell my team. I have the most wonderful, absolutely wonderful team. I mean, I can't put it into words. They're so committed and so dedicated. We spend so much time every day trying to make it better. And we mess up sometimes. I know we do, because it's such a big institute and there's so many people that come through here in the course of a day. But please tell us, but our heart is in the right place and we want to do well. So I'm so glad that you guys had a great experience with us. So important. She said the staff, the service, the hair treatment was all first class. Thank you, dear. Everyone was so nice and knowledgeable. You don't know what that does for my heart. Excuse me. I also bought your book. Great. I'm so excited because I feel like my hair is on its way back to good health. I'm going to be there every step of the way with you. I promise. Thank you again, and see you in January. Can't wait for my next treatment. Thank you so much for that feedback. I love you so much for that feedback. Okay, next one says, I need to work out too. Oh my goodness. But I've done better this week. I have been to the gym several times, and I rode my bicycle 3 miles on Sunday, maybe 4 miles. Okay, it says you, oopsie, oopsie, go back. Okay, where were we? I'm trying to get the questions and to change videos. Okay, it says, but where were we? Oh, you're so cute and funny. Listen to you. I have fun. If you meet me, even with Miss Matthews and Miss Pearl, they'll tell you I was a little different because in the institute. When you meet me, you'll say, okay, you're a little bit different. Only because your problems are so serious. So when I get in the analysis room with you, I'm hugging you and I love it on you, but I also get behind that chair and you're watching the monitor and I'm watching your scalp and my mind is going, oh my God, I've got to help this person. So I get a little bit more serious, but thank you. But I have a lot of fun on this. That's why I love doing it. I'm so incredibly busy, but I stop and I do this regardless because you guys are wonderful. I know you need me. You always show me that you appreciate it. And I always tell my team, you have to show people that you appreciate them. And you do that for people to keep going. You motivate me. You encourage me. You let me know that what I am doing is taking what God has put in my hands and I'm opening up my hands and I'm giving it out to you. And I thank you for that. So, but I have fun here. It says you did skip over the R question. Let's keep it moving. Wow, your hair is growing fast and beautiful. Thank you, Nikki Love. You know I love you, but I did skip over the R question, and I'm going to continue to skip over that until later on. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it before the first of the year, I promise. Okay. Hi, Dr. Akbari. You and your hair are beautiful. I love your videos. Would you do a video on your hair regimen? Must do that. Must do hair regimen and must do roller set. And I promise you I'm going to get around to it. Hello, Dr. Akbari. Love your videos. Glory to God in Jesus. Praise. Oh, thank you. You know, to God be the glory in Jesus, what I say all the time. I'm a client of yours. Oh, I have been coming to coming to you since September, yay, of this year. Your recommendations for me consisted of 12 treatments. Okay, so you're in stabilization. All right, stabilization is a part where we stabilize all the symptoms. We do the analysis. Based on my analysis, I will recommend a certain number of treatments to stabilize in clinic. Then, of course, you know, you have the homework. So the things you have to do at home yourself. So this is what she's speaking of. Okay, I'm currently on treatment number 9. Yay! And I am loving them. My hair is growing back slowly but surely. Now remember, during stabilizations, this is not even about obtaining length. This is not about hair growth. This is about stabilizing because we can't quantify. It's very difficult. What happens? We end up growing, obtaining some length, and then it breaks back off when you're not stable. So once we stabilize, you will feel like your hair growth or is speeding up, but really you're just obtaining length faster because you're not losing as much. So that's why you slowly stop losing during these stabilizations. By treatment number 9, yeah, you are beginning to see a little bit length obtained because your stabilization process is almost over. But with that being said, I want to make sure that we have good journals because what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have very little hair in that journal. You got to maintain and be careful to follow your program because I've written you a customized program to work with your in-clinic treatment. So be very, very careful. So, but I'm glad to hear that you're doing good. She said, I am sure what did she say? Would you consider doing a video on someone's treatment? And progress. I am sure you would have some volunteers. Thanks. It sounds like she's volunteering. Okay, let me know when you come in next week. Let me know. Thanks. Looking forward to my treatment next week. Let me know because if you want to, we'll definitely do that. We'll do some of yours. We'll show you before and afters. But it's such a personal thing, this problem with hair. And by the time someone makes it to a clinic like mine, oops, that's just my alarm telling me to do something. By the time someone makes it to a clinic like mine, they tend to have a lot of problems with embarrassment. They're really upset about their hair, so I don't really ask people to do that. So that's why you don't see a lot of before and afters. We are planning to do a testimony page I'm uber excited about that because on my website, because I think that there's so many people that have something to say and they're just bursting at the seams wanting to share. So I have been promising that I will do a page on my website. Okay, so we'll see. So you just let me know what you want to do. Maybe we can do your regimen. All right, so let's see. Dr. Akbari, do you think steaming your hair is really necessary? And she said, nice puff. I did have a puff. Yes, I did. That was my puff day. Today's my fro day. Well, no. I think steaming is not, I think we've got it a little bit confused with the steaming. Now, as a trichologist, I'm going to have a very different point of view here. And I'm going to tell you what I believe. Whenever you steam, I think it's really important that you understand the biggest benefit from steaming. Steaming is going to help open up your pores. So I do some steaming when I'm trying to really detox heavy. So I want to get the scalp to dump its waste and salt. I also want the skin tissues to relax and the pores to open for me so I can deep clean. Same with the hair. When I've got a lot of pollutants, very dense, waxy substance of cosmetics, environmentals, and scalp pollutants that have solidified on the scalp and hair, I like that heavy steaming. But it does not really help with conditioning as much as people are saying because you tend to sweat. So it's like a contradiction here. It's like you're trying to condition the hair, but you're steaming the hair. And so when you steam it, it's really detoxing. So I definitely don't think it's good for us to condition with steaming. I think long term, I think you think you're getting some benefits. The hair is going to feel a little bit softer initially, but you're really not going to get the deep penetrating I think that it's probably been designed to do, or you've been told that it would do. Oh my goodness, I have run out of time. We're supposed to get the book. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this day as a Q&A day. Next week, I am going to talk about the aging effect. Does aging itself, whether we from puberty to menopause, does this affect our hair? Your hair will change as you age. That's what I'm saying. But not as much as you think. So make sure you call your friends, people who are getting older or whatever. They're thinking, oh, my hair is going to thin just because I'm aging. Wait, not so fast. You don't have to sit back and watch that aging process of your skin or your body, and you don't have to do it with your hair. Okay, you just have to take better care of your hair. So what I'm going to do in this chapter, the name of the chapter is Does Aging Affect My Hair? What I'm going to do in this chapter, I'm going to teach you about what happens and why all of this happens as we get older. What happens to our hair as we get older and why it happens. And it says, do you just sit back and watch the aging process? Or can you control or change how your hair and even your scalp ages? Just like your face, and I get this opening here, just like your face, are you going to sit back and watch it? Well, you're not, because you're going to learn, because today we're going to talk, well, next week we're going to talk about it. Sorry, guys. I could do a second video, but we're okay. We're on track. We're going to do this next week. Okay? So make sure you tune in. I love you, love you, love you. Oh, yeah, it's a lot. We're going to do the whole chapter if I don't talk too much about one thing. But at least we'll get halfway through it. I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. I love you. Thank you, Miss Matthews, Miss Pearl, Miss Nikki Love, Miss all of you. And y'all, I say Nikki Love because I can say that with her name, and she's always, but there's several people. Give me your names if you, I'd love to call out your names. You know me, I'm Lisa Akbari. I hope all of you did vote. Yes. Ooh, that was exciting, the election. And I forgot to tell you to vote, but it looks like you did vote. So, all right. Love you guys. To God be the glory in Jesus. See you next week right here on Ask the Hair Doctor. Love you.